Everyone may be talking about the rise of the crossover, but long before crossovers existed, Americans fell in love with trucks. The top 3 vehicles by a wide margin in the US are all trucks, and you're looking at the third best-selling one, the Ram 1500. It sold nearly 500,000 units last year, thanks partially to its wide range of models to fit everyone's needs. So let's go ahead and see why the Ram is so sought after. We are excited to announce that we will now be covering 4 new brands: Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, thanks to our new partnership with Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. To find out more information about their dealership and massive inventory of new FCA products, then check out their web address provided in the video description. So in order to stave off a mental breakdown for both you and I, this review is going to be focused on only the top 4 trims instead of all 13. We will cover the others in separate videos, but for now we'll be talking about the Laramie, Laramie Longhorn, Laramie Limited, and the new Limited Tungsten Edition. This is the standard FCA fob, which comes with keyless enter and go on Laramie Longhorn and up. It also contains the unique option to lower the air suspension remotely, if equipped, and also remote start. Before we check out the swanky cabin, let's first check under the hood. Like pretty much every truck, you have a lot of options for the powertrains. We have the most common engine, which is the 5.7-liter Hemi V8. It produces 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque, and it's standard on all but the Laramie. That model instead comes with a 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, which still makes a healthy 305 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. Finally, there is one more engine, which is optional on every trim. It's a 3-liter diesel V6 that makes only 240 horsepower, but a whopping 420 pound-feet of torque. Regardless of engine choice, the transmission is an 8-speed automatic, and both 2- or 4-wheel drive are available. Now, as far as fuel economy goes, only the 5.7-liter Hemi has been rated for 2018. It comes in at 17 combined for both the 4x2 and 4x4 models. Last year's rating for the Pentastar was 20 combined, and the EcoDiesel 23 combined, but there's no guarantee those will carry over. Anyways, that does it for the powertrains, so now let's check out the exterior. Even within only the highest 4 trims, there are still a lot of ways to customize the truck to your style. Since this is the Limited, we have the upscale looking chrome grille, with Ram lettering. This design also comes on the Longhorn and Tungsten Edition. The regular Laramie trim comes instead with the more traditional Ram grille, but it does have extra chrome mesh to fill in the quadrants. When it comes to the headlights, however, they are all mostly the same. These are the premium bifunction halogens with LED daytime running lights and turn signals. All 4 trims also get halogen fog lamps. The standard ground clearance is 9 inches. However, the Limited gets a standard air suspension, which can raise it up to 9.8 inches. This is optional on the other trims, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the only truck with an air suspension. I want to mention the lower trim and bumpers real fast. The Limiteds are usually body colored, but we have the optional chrome bumpers. Also, if you get the Laramie Longhorn, you get brown trim for the bumpers and all around. Coming to the wheels, all 4 trims get 20-inch alloys. These are the Limiteds with painted silver accents. The Limited Tungsten Edition shares the same design, but with a mineral gray finish. Finally, Longhorns get polished aluminum wheels with brown accents, and the Laramies are chrome. For the brakes, they are 13.2-inch ventilated disc in the front and 13.8-inch ventilated disc in the rear. The tires are all seasons. Coming to the mirrors, they are heated, power folding, and auto dimming across all the trims. These are the towing ones, so the regular ones are a little bit smaller. The tungstens are also body colored. All but the Laramie do come with running boards, ours with extra chrome. Of course, like all modern trucks, this is quite large. All but the Laramie are locked into this crew cab configuration, but if this 5'7" bed isn't long enough, you can up it to 6'4". As equipped though, the overall length is a massive 229 inches. Now moving on to the safety section, this is where the Ram is starting to show its age. There are no active safety features, like automatic collision braking, adaptive cruise control, or lane departure alert. This more than likely isn't a big deal to you, but if it is, then you'll have to look elsewhere. The fuel tank on the upper end Rams is 32 gallons. That's good for a 544 mile range with the Hemi V8 engine that we have. The other engines would do better, but they also have smaller 26-gallon fuel tanks. Around back, the Ram 1500 has a distinct look, which is good since most trucks tend to look the same in the back. The big thing that stands out, of course, is the giant Ram badging. This comes on the Limited only, and tungsten would make it body colored. The taillights also have a distinct and premium look to them, since they are LED and have chrome around them. You do get dual chrome exhaust to pump out that lovely Hemi burble. When it comes to towing, you don't sacrifice much for all the extra luxury of this trim. It is rated at 8,170 pounds, which is not too far behind the 8,700 pounds for the single cab work truck. tailgate is not easy lower like it is on most rivals. On the Limited, you do get a standard spray-in bed liner. And new for 2018, the LED lights now have their own button. Well, I think that pretty much covers the exterior, so now let's move on to the luxurious cabin. When you first look inside, you're greeted by a very rich looking cabin. It can be had with a variety of different interior color combinations. From the Laramie and up, you do get standard leather seating, in either black or light frost beige on most models. On our Limited, we have the black interior, but it does have the unique option of an indigo and frost combination. And on the Longhorn, you have special canyon brown and cattle tan interior choices. The door trim is composed of very luxurious materials. You have stitched leather all through here, and it even extends across the upper portion of the door trim. In the middle portion, you have wood, aluminum, and more leather. Only the front two windows are automatic up and down. The Limited does get these unique all-weather and carpeted floor mats, and aluminum scuff plate. The seats on all four trims are 10-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar. They also have 2-person memory located here. The leather itself is very premium feeling, and I like the perforation and all the unique stitching details. So getting in is easy thanks to these running boards and this assist grip. Ram was the first brand to make a truly luxurious truck, and with continuous updates, it's still very luxurious today. All of the upper dash is covered in stitched soft-touch plastic. And while the lower portions are hard touch, everything fits together really well and feels solid. There really is no indication that this has been around for nearly a decade. To start, just press the standard button. When you do, this large 8.4-inch display will power on. Longhorn and up will have built-in navigation. The gauges have a pretty neat design, with the central attraction being the 7-inch driver display. This can do most of what Uconnect does, plus some extra stuff related to towing and efficiency. The steering is electronic rack and pinion on all models, with leather and real wood on Longhorn and above. These buttons are for media, and these buttons are for the standard cruise control. The wheel itself manually adjusts, and it's heated. You also have power pedals. These come on Laramie and above. Now as far as storage goes, the Ram has plenty of spaces to put all your junk. The console opens in two parts. The top part is quite shallow, but it's really made for your phone to connect to this stuff. The second tier is where all the space is, but it's not quite as cavernous as Silverado and F-150. Part of the problem is the CD player, which you don't have to get. Moving up, you can slide back the wood to find a pretty substantial amount of space. It does also come with a wireless phone charger. In front of that, there is another bin, and then a little bit of storage over here. The Ram has an electronic shifter, controlled with this rotary knob. I actually found this pretty easy to get used to. When in reverse, a standard backup camera will pop up. It has trajectory and front and rear parking sensors. You have a nice visualization of those sensors over here. Here's where you can manually shift, and we have the optional trailer brake. These buttons control the air suspension. There are 4 modes: entry-exit mode, normal, off-road 1, and off-road 2 modes. Next to them, we have the comfort buttons. 2-stage heated and ventilated seats are standard on the Laramie and above. We also have the heated steering wheel, which I already mentioned. Moving up to the climate control itself, it is dual zone automatic. Everything is easy to control with physical buttons, but you can also control everything up here in the climate tab. I like that they give you both options. Now let's listen to the 9-speaker Alpine audio system. I'm impressed by the sound quality of this setup. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Uconnect system. For 2018, we have the same size screen, but the graphics have been refreshed with a more modern look. First, going into audio, we are connected to the standard Bluetooth, which you can control from the screen. All the other sources appear on the left side, and they would be lit up when they are available. Next, we have apps. This is where all the vehicle's functions will appear. The most important ones to point out are Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both of which are supported. Next, we have navigation. The map is very responsive, and pinch to zoom is supported. Finally, you have phone, where you can do the regular affair of stuff like scroll through your synced over contacts. That's all I'm going to cover in this video, but if you want to see a detailed tutorial of the Uconnect system, then check out our dedicated tech help video. A link to that is provided in the video description. Up here we have an auto-dimming rearview mirror, and here are the universal remotes. A power rear window is standard. Surprisingly, however, this power moonroof is not standard, even on the Limited. It costs $1,100, and it would be nice to have a pano option like on the F-150. Overall, the cabin of the Ram 1500 Limited is a very upscale and comfortable environment. It excels at traditional truck things, like space and storage, while still having more luxury features than most luxury cars. Very nice overall. Now I'll let Mason show off the rest of the cabin.
Before we hop into the rear, I would like to point out that the running boards extend to the side of the bed. The door trim of this Ram is made of the same great materials as the front. Almost everything is leather, even this top portion. The windows back here are power, but not automatic. Other than that, you've got quite a bit of storage in the lower door. Space-wise, the Ram boasts 40.3 inches of legroom and 39.9 inches of headroom. That does place it as one of the lowest in the class, behind the F-150, Chevy Silverado, and Toyota Tundra. Ram does make the most of that space by allowing you to fold up the seat. Below that, you've got a little covered storage area. Getting in is pretty easy, and they do give you a leather grab handle. In the center, you will find two vents on our Limited. And we also have multi-stage heated rear seats. Below that, Ram does throw in a 12-volt power outlet. There is an armrest with two cup holders inside, and you'll find two more cup holders on the floor. Up top, there's a hard-to-push LED light, and that's about it. Now, as far as space is concerned, this is what it looks like with the seat adjusted to Drew's position. There's plenty of room for my legs and feet. After I slide over, this is what it's like with the seat all the way back. Pretty much anyone will be comfortable back here. Overall, the Ram's rear seat is one of the most luxurious truck rear seats on the market. Everything is high quality and there's plenty of features available, especially on our top-end Limited trim. The only thing that's missing is a pano moonroof. The passenger seat is 6-way power, but that's only included if you go for a package on one of the Laramie trims. The glove box opens in two parts. The top one is pretty good sized, and the main glove box is dampened and decently sized. We also have this household style outlet to keep things charged up, and below it is a little storage area. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed the first in-depth look at the 2018 Ram 1500 Limited. Stay watching for a quick look at the pricing, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons below. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.